Good morning. My name is Rick Elsmore and I'm on the trail. Moving around today, a little closer to my home, but yet out in nature. Struck by the trees I'm walking by. I noticed this huge cottonwood tree, and on the ground are these massive pieces of skin, shedding. One of its limbs slowly growing old, slowly dying, but yet still with beauty. Seeing this bark made me think of the skin that I shed, that we all shed. Changes happen. We have to grieve. We have to learn to deal with losing someone or something that we love. The pain of that causing us to either push through it, get stuck in it. So many different ways to handle grief. I was thinking of grief in my own life. My journey walking with others starting over 20 years ago with the first young man that I worked with. He was a 22-year-old alcoholic with two young girls. About 6 months after spending time with him, he unfortunately died in his sleep. The grief of that washing over me, saying, I don't know if I can ever work with anyone again. But yet realizing what an honor it was to have those 6 months to be in his life. And how unfortunate it is to see how some people handle grief. I've grieved the loss of a friend's young son dying of cancer. I've grieved the loss of my mom. I've grieved the loss of relationships. I'm grieving the loss of losing someone that I love dearly and needing to move on into my life. So where are you with grief? How have you handled it? How are you handling it? Seems like on a daily basis with COVID and with the tragedy that lives within our world, we have to constantly be dealing with grief. And often it's a roadblock where we stop, we don't move. We allow it to have more of a control of our lives than it really needs or deserves. Or we just push through it and just grind it out and think that we're just going to move on from it. Grief is something that has to be honored. So my role as a relationship coach and intimacy guide is to help you to be intimate with yourself through these processes of grief, but also to look towards the future. What does it look like to move on? What does it look like to find relationship? Because I believe that it's community that brings those broken pieces together and makes us whole again. That's new life. That's new growth. And often we shed the old, we move into the new. It's just a natural cycle of life. You can find me at rickelsmore.com. My role is to be here to be a gentle guide as we literally walk the trails, get into the mountains outside Denver, or get to a park near your house. I do almost everything I do as much as I can in nature. So look me up, check me out, read my words, look at my images, take it in. If it's something that's calling to you, then reach out to me. We'll spend 20 minutes talking and decide if there's a place in your life for me and a way for us to walk together for a season. Namaste and have an amazing day.